In Paris, inside the legendary Louvre Museum, known as one of the most secure structures in the world, an unthinkable event took place in broad daylight.
Hunt is underway for thieves after priceless jewels were stolen from one of the world's most famous.
Something we usually see only in Hollywood movies actually happened inside the world's most famous museum. Welcome back to Fact Files. On the morning of October 19, 2025, the Louvre Museum opened its doors to the public just like any other day. Guards were at their posts, and tourists from all around the world were streaming inside. It was 8:30 a.m. The museum had been open for 30 minutes when something unusual happened on the far side of the building, near the River Seine. A truck, the kind usually used to lift furniture to upper floors, pulled up beside the museum wall. Mounted on it was a mechanical lift, but this truck wasn't there to move furniture, and the intentions of the people inside were anything but ordinary. There were 4 of them in total, each wearing yellow and orange safety jackets, just like construction workers. But their faces were hidden behind balaclavas. 2 of them boldly extended the mechanical lift upward, reaching the balcony of the museum's first floor. That balcony led directly to one of the Louvre's most prestigious sections, the Gallery of Apollo, the same gallery that housed the royal treasures of France. But there was one major obstacle standing between the thieves and the Gallery of Apollo, a massive, reinforced glass wall. Once they reached the balcony, they pulled an industrial-grade disc cutter from their bag and within seconds sliced a hole through the glass, slipping inside effortlessly. It all happened so fast that the security guards hadn't even realized what was going on. But the moment they broke the glass, the museum's alarm system went off. Guards inside the gallery spotted the intruders. Yet the thieves didn't care. They threatened the guards with their power tools and continued their work with chilling focus. Following protocol, the guards began evacuating tourists from the gallery immediately. Chaos erupted inside the museum. One eyewitness later said, "People were terrified. No one understood what was happening." While police and staff were busy guiding panicked visitors to safety, the 2 thieves calmly shattered several display cases and collected 9 priceless treasures. Then, just as quickly as they came, they slipped back out through the same hole in the glass and onto the balcony. Down below, their 2 partners were waiting on scooters. They hurried down the lift ladder, jumped on the scooters, and vanished into the streets of Paris. It all happened so fast, no one had time to react. According to police, the thieves were inside the museum for just 4 minutes. The entire operation, from parking the truck, extending the lift, cutting through glass, stealing the treasures, and escaping, was completed in only 8 minutes. Before fleeing, they even tried to set fire to the lift truck, hoping to destroy any evidence or fingerprints. But one brave museum staff member intervened just in time and stopped them. The thieves then raced along the riverbank, escaping through the Boulevard Périphérique, Paris's ring road, heading toward the A6 motorway.
This daylight robbery was not just a crime, it was a national humiliation for France. But the real question is, what exactly was stolen from the Louvre Museum? What treasures did the thieves target? When the losses were finally assessed, the entire nation of France went into mourning. The stolen artifacts carried immense financial value, but their historical and cultural worth was declared priceless. According to the Ministry of Culture, a total of 8 precious items were stolen from the Louvre Museum. Now, you might recall I mentioned 9 earlier. Yes, the thieves originally stole 9 items, but during their escape, one of them was accidentally dropped. That item was the crown of Empress Eugenia, the wife of Napoleon III. The crown had been specially crafted for her in the year 1855. When the thieves tried to pull it through the hole in the glass, it got stuck. The opening was too small. In forcing it out, they damaged the crown, and when it fell to the street below, it was left covered in deep scratches. The museum director later stated that while it might be possible to restore the crown, the 8 missing treasures were irreplaceable. Among the stolen items were a magnificent tiara and brooch belonging to Empress Eugenia, the emerald necklace and matching earrings of Empress Marie-Louise, the second wife of Napoleon Bonaparte, a sapphire tiara, necklace and earring set that once belonged to Queen Marie Amelia and Queen Hortense, and finally, a rare reliquary brooch. All of these pieces dated back to the 19th century and were adorned with thousands of diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and other precious stones. They weren't just jewels, they were fragments of France's royal legacy. It's estimated that the gold, gemstones, and diamonds alone were worth nearly $2 million. But when you consider the royal families they once belonged to, no amount, not 10 million, not 100 million, not even $1 billion, could ever replace them. That's why they are forever known as priceless.
What's truly astonishing is that the thieves didn't even touch the most valuable pieces in the entire gallery. Among them, the legendary Regent diamond, valued at 51 million euros, roughly $60 million. And not far from it, the famous Sancy and Hortensia diamonds, both left untouched. That's why investigators believe this wasn't a random heist. It was a targeted mission, carried out by professionals who knew exactly what to take and what to leave behind. The Paris prosecutor's office later stated, "This is not just a loss of money, it is a loss of French history." But the big question remains, how could such a robbery happen inside the world's most famous museum, visited by millions each year, guarded by state-of-the-art security? When the investigation began, shocking details started to surface. According to early reports by French media, in the section of the museum where the theft occurred, 1 out of every 3 rooms had no CCTV cameras at all. Yes, inside the world's largest museum, there were blind spots in its surveillance network. Even the external cameras didn't fully cover the balcony where the thieves had cut their way inside. But the real shock came when French Senator Nathalie Goulet revealed to the BBC that the alarm that went off was actually the museum's main alarm system. There was also a localized alarm installed on that balcony, but it had malfunctioned just days before the heist. If that alarm had been working, the thieves' entry would have been detected instantly. Following the incident, the museum's director admitted to the security failure and immediately offered her resignation to the Ministry of Culture. But her resignation was not accepted. This incident has now raised a serious question about the security of France's national museums.
And it's worth mentioning, this wasn't the first time the Louvre Museum had been robbed. Back in 1911, the world-famous Mona Lisa painting was stolen from this very same museum. A former museum employee had taken Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece, hidden it beneath a room panel, and simply walked out. The painting was recovered 2 years later in Italy, when the thief tried to sell it. Ironically, that very theft turned the Mona Lisa into the most famous painting in the world. Years later, in 1976, King Charles X's sword was also stolen from the Louvre. 3 men broke through a window, entered the gallery, and took the royal sword, which has never been recovered. The last recorded incident was in 1998, when thieves, in broad daylight, removed a painting straight from its frame and vanished. That painting, too, remains missing to this day. And now, 27 years later, the Louvre Museum once again becomes the center of a shocking robbery. At present, more than 60, and according to some reports, over 100 investigators are working on this case. Fortunately, on Saturday, October 25, 2025, police arrested 2 suspects believed to be directly linked to the heist. Investigators had collected nearly 150 DNA samples and fingerprints from the scene, including from helmets, gloves, and even the interior of the truck used in the robbery. The arrests were made after DNA matches confirmed their connection to the crime. One of the suspects already had a criminal history, involved in previous gold theft cases. Police are hopeful that all members of the Paris Museum robbery, including the mastermind, will soon be caught. However, officers have not yet confirmed whether any of the stolen treasures have been recovered. Following the heist, the Louvre Museum remained closed until October 2nd, though the Gallery of Apollo is still off limits to visitors. According to investigators, this was a highly organized and professionally executed operation, and the investigation is still ongoing. And finally, the team at Fact Files urges viewers to like and share this video, and continue showing your amazing support through your kind comments, just like always. See you in the next fascinating story.